We're going to go right into our open mic because we're short on time, and I won't go into the long details of why we have to cut it short tonight. We have to finish by 10 to 6 because the library got the time wrong this year, but we're going to just go right into this without another break. So everybody, please, do whatever you need to do quietly while people read. And let's see, what am I going to say here? Yes, we will not take another break so as to allow as many readers as possible. Feel free to help yourself to refreshments, whatever's left during this time, do so quietly. Poets, please limit your reading to 3 minutes to allow others a chance to read. We have to end at 10 to 6, so please understand if we have to stop you if you're running long, okay? Also, there will be some cleanup going on and during this open mic, so those people will be extra quiet if possible, okay? So let's see, what do we have here? The first person up on the open mic is, okay, Ilene Cummings.
Thank you for this opportunity. This is called Avatar. I am looking for the avatar of love. In my dreams, he's looking for me. He circles around as if I were a high holy day, something rare and meant for celebrating. For him, I am a rose perpetually in bloom, dripping with dew and unceasingly fragrant. He will arrive with sonnets and prayers and nectar the color of snow, ecstasy from the garden of the gods. I will know him by the softness of his touch, already living in the space between my heartbeats. He is a poet, a builder, an animal, a monk. He is all gold and marvelously made, with the eyes of a leopard. A stallion, certain of where he will breed. Ivory bones show through the ghost of his skin. But it is his lips that are the wonder of the world. His essence lives there. His music, his genius, his smell, his heart, all live in his lips. The lips of a lover, moist and willing, strong and able to hold me, pull me in where he waits with his treasure.
Sorry. Start with.
Yes, she was still finishing.
Okay, all right, so what I forgot was, I've got the list here, and is Carol still going to read?
Carol's going to go a little bit later.
She's going to go later, okay, so Janine Margiotta is next, and Janine, if you would, just read the name of the next person on the list when you're finished, okay? And each poet do that, just name the next person who's going to read. Thanks.
This is like my bucket list thing. I've not done this before, except for with the little get-together we had last week. It was my first time ever reading poems, so please forgive me if I sound a little bumpy.
Yeah, why don't you go say something real quick?
Before
Hold
you
on,
start,
Janine, she's going to, I forgot.
Let me say something. We have 3 people from our class last week who have been brave and daring and are reading tonight. Ilene was the first, this is our second, and Carol will be reading a little bit later. So you have to give them lots of great good vibes because these are novices at some of our reading here. So take good care of them, they're wonderful.
I don't know how many I get to read, but I'm going to read a short one, and it's in compliments to someone's birds that they mentioned crows, and another bird came after that. And I just picked this at the last minute. This one's called 100 Blackbirds. It's actually the name of my book. 100 blackbirds on the telephone wire tapping the line, translating conversations. I can hear them trading secrets. Swift currents, rumors spread. I've perched on a nearby curb inquisitively, leaning in to hear some more. What is it that they're saying? And just like that, the silent treatment. They're all looking my way. This one is called On a Brisk Winter Day. When I get onto my husband's Harley, the slim-hipped creature, it hugs me as if it hasn't seen me in months. The seat that is soft as the ripened plum. A leg on each side, saddled up quite comfortable. I become a leather wishbone, moist and sweaty on a brisk winter day. The road's music is hard to hear over the vibrations growing between my thighs. Whizzing resonance of vast bugs and the pop-pop-pops from the pipes. Or when the wind slaps my springy skin like a jealous mistress. We stop for a pop at the 8 p.m. and reunite my legs. I glance back, and for a transient moment, I swore I saw it wink. Thank you. And I think I will read this one last one if I have time. It's in the Groundwater's Park, and it's one of my favorite homes. It's actually honored for a first prize award in the San Joaquin, California Poet Society. If anybody's heard of it, in Modesto, California, they're great. It's called A Dark Raven on Her Shoulder. Sylvia Plath and I ordered chili cheese fries and hot dogs and discussed sonnets, beautiful men, death, the ocean, over steamy Earl Grey. She told me how the ocean didn't want her and spit her out like a cork. I confess freely, almost drowning. We had two different formidable oceans filling our eyes, scrunched up in her chair, tight as a crawl space, conforming for the last time. There was a dark raven on her shoulder, pruning her hair, empty plates, stale glances yawn, her depression like a knot of worms that no one could untangle. I remember her, pallid glow, frail as a rice paper lantern. So Jill Hardin would be next.
And after Jill, Brian Salisbury, and then Susanne. The print is too small for me. The last word is Alexander. Okay. There you go. Okay.
Hi, I'm Jill, Jill Hardin. This is my book, and it's over on that table. It was published in 2009. And I'm working on some other ones coming up. Yeah. And I met Steve C.S. Blue up at the Northwest Poets Concord this year. Yeah. And anyway, we decided to get together and do my rap song.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess I should.
You can hold the mic if you pull it out. Hold it. Is that good?
Cool. Yeah.
All right. This is totally impromptu. So.
Yeah. I don't know, this just came to me one day and I just said, wow, I have a rap song. This is my answer to the rap songs. There's some really great rap songs out there, but at the time that I wrote this, and I forgot which year that was, but it was, around 2006. Anyway, and there were a lot of really angry stuff. I don't know. I just, and so anyway, here it is. Okay. Busy minds, busy judging, busy minds. Judging when we could be, noticing the signs. The signs are all along the way, asking us a while to stay and read between the lines. The lines that judge us every day, read between the lines, drop the whining and be kind. We can realize happily with hearts realigned the life of our own sweet love and design. If we recognize in everyone the truth of the divine. So let our busy minds be busy loving God. Oh, next is Brian Salisbury. Berry or that? Okay.
Okay, well, I guess I'll, a funny one that I did, somewhat reminiscent of the Cheech and Chong thing on a similar thing. It was based on Feliz Navidad, they did something similar, but anyway, mine was a little bit more political. Police nabbed my pad. It was underwater bad. Banks repoed my car for fees on my card. They outsourced my job to some poor starving slob. I'm feeling kind of blue. I just ate my shoe. Price of gas just got higher. My tap water catches fire. I hope I don't get sick, but if I do, I best die quick. I'm having a Mitt Romney Christmas. Needless to say, I wrote that last Christmas. Okay, let's see. This one's called Form Prayer, and it starts with a quote from Buddha, his life and teachings. This is practicing religion by the neglect of moral conduct. Purify your hearts and cease to kill. That is true religion. Rituals have no efficacy. Prayers are vain repetitions, and incantations have no saving power. Dear occupant, God or gods, I'm forced to send you this form prayer just in case there's someone there, because I just haven't got the time to put my own thoughts to rhyme. Besides, the church forced prayer in schools to make us lie or cringe, the fools. This hardens us against their ways and makes hypocrites of those who stay. With power to map out the world's fate, your ego must be just as great. So I will gratify it and make nice before going back to my life of vice. Though you know everything I'd say, besides I sent this yesterday. I'll send you someone else's thoughts, one who long dead somewhere rots. I'm afraid of what you do, not let me in when I'm all through, or nuke us all just for grins. We drown in guilt for abstract sins. Why children die, I guess you know. Your house is safe in heaven, though. To river Styx I'm led by priests, to read this lie or drink the beasts. Okay, this was one of my more mystical days. Bookborn. This book has metal embedded in its spine, apparently abstract ornamentation until you open it. Then it becomes a face, alternately morphing holographically into Shiva, Loki, Coyote. Please ignore the little gnome reading it. It's all done with mirrors. That's really just you. Be careful which incantation you may select. One-way transformation. Will it affect the world or just you? Chaos theory. The pebble rolls off the saddle. Happy birthday. You have wings. You're closer to the angels. Just watch out for the fly swatter, and you may acquire a taste for shit and plaid Bermuda shorts. Maybe poetry is just flea-picking, grooming behavior, and we're all just silly, scared monkeys consoling each other.
Looks like next up is Susanne Twight-Alexander, and don't forget, if you can remember, just read the next person on the list. Thanks.
This is from my chapbook, Being, and it's the title poem. I am the hummingbird that comes to the feeder in sunlight and snow. I am the bare-branched trees stretched across a winter sky, dancing at sunset. I am the river raging in flood, my current cracking rocks together beneath my surface, the sound audible from the shore. I am the sound of crickets on a warm summer evening as the first stars appear. I am the soft plop of fish in a mountain lake, spreading circles across the water, moving the stars. I am the laughing child running through meadows, chasing a monarch butterfly. And I am that butterfly searching for milkweed on which to lay my eggs. I am the call of the red-tailed hawk and its mimicking cry from the Stellar's jay. I am the view of granite peaks from Deer Creek Pass above Bear Basin. And I am a little pond edging the trail where a small water snake stalks tadpoles. I am the dipper with mossy nest behind the waterfall on Granite Creek in California. And at the top of Oregon's Kentucky Falls, I am the presence that surrounds.
Okay.
I'm going to read a poem that's one of my passions is mountain hiking. It's Three Sisters Wilderness, 1995. 9,000 some feet above sea level, loose basalt, sand, and red clay granite crumbles beneath my feet. Farther up the trail, I find a flat granite boulder surrounded by small patches of snow. And the north wind blows stronger. Moraine Lake is some 5 or 6 miles below on the edge of the bunch grass plains. From where I sit, it appears about the size of my thumb. I take a few sips of water and a bite of dried papaya. Above me, the red loose rock wall rises like a cracked and war-aging cathedral. Indian paintbrushes are still in bloom along the trail leading the way to Bliss Glacier. Old spirits talk to me, telling me to go higher. I push on as the air becomes thinner, taking deeper breaths up the trail among the mountain heather and lonely scrub pine. The early autumn wind blows through me, and the whitewashed gray clouds fill the blue sky as I empty my cluttered mind that never becomes empty but full of fresh thoughts. I'm only a small part of this vast web of creation, like a mountain glacier, forever changing. And I think about there's times we're living in with climate change and how the glaciers are disappearing all over the world right now. So I really feel fortunate to have lived in a time when I could go hiking in the high mountains and experience real glaciers. This next poem is another passion of mine, which is women and music. And this poem has a little bit of both in it. This is one of my favorite blues, jazz, African-American singers that comes to town every so often. She lives down in Louisiana right now. It's called Dedication to Jackie Sue. God Sings the Blues. I hear God today singing in the afternoon summer breeze up there on the stage in front of me, moving and grinding her hips in rhythm to the music. Her cool, raw vocals leap from the center of her heart as she undulates like a wild river, and the harp player bends the notes of pain and sorrow. I hear God today singing in the afternoon summer breeze up there on the stage in front of me, her vocals soaring in unison with the guitar strings and the clashing of the cymbals and the primal beat of the drums. The flute whispers like a dove in the high wind with the saxophone blowing again, and the harp wails like the dark storm clouds where the angels cry. In her glowing copper skin, she sings deep from her roots the gospel blues, shaking us all up, bringing us back to life in these troubled times. I see God today singing the afternoon summer breeze up there on the stage in front of you, wearing a thin, tight dress the color of bleached bone, revealing her lovely form. I hear God today singing in the afternoon summer breeze songs of love and passion that stirred my soul like it has not been stirred before, as she dances in her heels, and I dance too. Next poet is Rachel Rich.
Glad to be here. The first one I'll read to you this evening is entitled Hubris. It feels wrong to say, I don't know, or I'm in over my head. Who am I letting down? Pioneer ancestors, can-do Americans, who throw caution to the wind, dodge bullets, and other improbables. Like Icarus, flying too close to the sun, we hope not to burn, not to fall. Not this time, not us. We wear scattered successes like badges, merely proving we didn't die. Daredevils may break bones, addicts recover, and broken hearts mend. Or not. Moderns gasp at tales ending in sheer failure. Maybe Icarus should stay home, warming his hands by the fire. For how long? And I'll read you one more. This is a fresh one from just the other day. A photo from 1963. I'm sitting up in a hammock, sheltered beneath Grandma's elms. Christy stands, arms akimbo, grinning behind cat-eye sunglasses. Then with a shove, she dumps me. So I holler and chase. Catching her by the shirt, I only think to ask, why? How could I know it would always be this way, and that this becomes my favorite photo? Thank you. I can't quite remember the last name, Jim Higgins.
Well, this has been a great afternoon. I'm sure glad I came. This is really a worthy project. I don't know whether I need these or not. I'm never sure how the light is, but I better put them on. Well, this is called August Moon. Watching the moon's slow march across the sky, waiting for shadows of the oak tree's branches to speak, angels to descend on glowing wings like the ones in those old paintings. That's the trouble with reading quotations. Words begin moving on the page like ants. Loaves want to dance with the fish. Flagons of wine whizzing by on a fast, hot pink conveyor belt. A garden where stone gnomes start to gabble around the koi pond, telling tales of childhood, swings, trolls, slides included, no extra fare. Darkness deepens, stars congregate, blink at the festivities. Seek a dipper of that clear white wine to cool their center's molten heat, then move in formation toward the rising sea, to light the way for silvery smelt, compelled spawn in briny shallows, looking back in fear for gangs of gulls, pelican patrols. Crafty cormorants sit and wait. Salmon well schooled lurk beyond the breakers. Stragglers beware. Starlight a pinpoint now. Moon still hangs above the sea. This second one, the other one's called How Great Steakhouse. How Great Steakhouse was a place I used to listen to music and drink some after a hard day or a hard week of selling shoes in Southern California. You remember, it's where Buddy Watts' name had a quartet. He played bass, sang. Piano player was maybe cardboard. Nobody called of him. The drummer I see named Leonard Medina, but Leonard was a guy I worked with at Hollywood and Ivar, selling shoes, cheap shoes, pushy salesman, hawking handbags in the mirror when a woman just wanted to see how those pumps looked. Leonard's buddy Gus was there too. They were compadres even, a thing I didn't get until I called Gus compadre and got a look. He said, "Don't say that. It means more than buddies. We are godfathers to our children." Anyway, Leonard wasn't the drummer for Buddy who stood there behind that big piano bar, sang Dancing on the Ceiling. My favorite, Have You Met Miss Jones? I don't remember that drummer's name after all. Just looked like Leonard. And now I look online for that steakhouse. You know what? Not even Google remembers. Thank you.
Carter McKenzie, and then the last one will be Carol White.
This is really enjoyable afternoon. I'm so glad I was able to come. I was late. I didn't plan on sharing work because I thought I'd missed the open mic. But thanks to a friend who brought a hard copy of a poem I shared with him, I'm just going to read from the poem that was exchanged. I am from Dexter, and our community has been involved for over 2 years in a fight with to resist mining of a butte, Hardin Butte. And as of February of this year, Land Use Board of Appeals decided that no site review is needed for Lost Creek Rock Products to continue its efforts to take down the entire butte, which is in the middle of a community. So it took me a while to find a way to write a poem about this, but this is what I have now. From my window, a response to the mining of Parvin Butte. I cannot see it, stripped of pine and brush, its raw sides spilling rock and dust, ragged cavity pocked and sinking deeper, seams of narrow road digging in, winding around and around. I cannot see this crazy birthday cake, its little balls of smoke, its loopholes, rules, and laws. This $30 million pile of rocks, the ditch around it. Cannot see who named a tributary ditch, a mountain pile of rocks, to which they could do anything, good for nothing. Cannot see what's happening in the courts of law, what the land is good for, all that money, among the gardens paid for taxes, farms and houses. So nearby, invisible, the screech owls call, these spring nights, turtles slipping into water from their stones, no wiser for the ditch they're in. Breeding grounds for them, for salmon, water filling wells beneath the ground, of sudden blossoms, moss and lichen. What feeds the yearling deer, curled among the lavender, the bells of Snow Queen, the cache of iris, for sale signs everywhere. Another spring, opening, undone, I cannot see it.
Carol's turn. So there's an angel in the room. Okay. Can I stand here? Yeah, it's okay. Okay. Well, hello everybody. Carol, thank you so much. Thank you for all this, for all your work. And I want to say that it's been a while since I entertained. I'm a professional clown. I'm actually retired from a professional clown of 13 years. So Lindsey inspired me tonight to say that, and I really get what Lindsey and I were talking about, that some of my best moments as an entertainer were ones where I was just like taken in the moment. Like just taken by that moment and let her rip. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so communication. Communication. It can make your palms sweat. Yeah. It can make your stomach so tight.
Communication could knock you to your knees. And it prompts you to say, God bless you when you sneeze. Communication can bring a tear. And communication can make you shout with cheer, yay! Communication, it can build bridges, and it can tear down walls. And communication, it can make you smile as bright as a Christmas tree and open up windows of brand new worlds for you to see. Communication, it gives life. It gives life to your wildest dreams and aspirations.
Thank you very much, Carol. Carol was one of our, at our workshop last week, so it was very nice. We have one late addition, another great newcomer to microphone is Lindsey. Come on up, Lindsey.
I remember reading that.
Ooh, I like me a podium. Okay. Consider this a vocal Craigslist ad. I need help. It's not what you're thinking. I don't need your money or your car. I don't need to borrow your vacuum cleaner, and I'm not giving you any of my stuff. It's my stuff. The kind of help may just be a little bit more involved. You see, this world that we live in is painful, scary, dirty, hopeless, disgusting. I know I agreed to come here, but I can't imagine I ever knew I would feel so weighed down. Call me Atlas. I've always believed in God, but I never knew what it meant to share the load. I can do this all by myself. And that may be true if we are speaking of doing the dishes, or making a blanket, or going for a walk. Sometimes, even in circumstances I would like to prove myself independent, even selfish, I wouldn't mind a helping hand. And so I ask all of you who would pay notice to my call, help me. Help me help you. Help yourself. Help your neighbor, your enemy, your family and friends. Help the starving, sick, and scared. We've all felt as though the suffering never ends unless we give ourselves fully, all aboard and at attention. I'm talking about service, selfless, in order to find that which you thought you had but could never even fathom. The definition of such being a person being distinct from all others. An identity. As if you are in, hold up, I can't understand my own writing. As if you are indeed, and I thank God and me, but one truth that has been inexhaustibly reinforced is something along the lines of, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, times 10, 20, 30, 40 will come too soon. And so I pray to learn from my elders alongside respecting them, if not for their knowledge, but for the blood, sweat, and tears I know made them who they are today. I believe that if I can find a way to let you be you, then maybe, just maybe, you will let me be me, and above all, like gratitude for our differences, that we may know individuality, that we may contribute a precious piece of the greater whole. I am so fortunate to be here with you. I am so fortunate to be here. I am so fortunate to be. We may never know our worth. We may never even think we have any. Let me offer you the relieving truth that you don't need to know. You don't need to think. I'm asking you for help. I'm asking you to be you. All of you. Bring it all to the plate and trust that not one of us needs to save the world out there. We just need to save the world in here. And I have a feeling each of you will step up to the plate. It may not be easy, but I promise that it's simple. Help me by helping yourself. By all of you, be all that you came here to be. Help me by letting me know when you need me to help you. Thank you.
Sorry, Susan, I had to jump in. Can you think of a better way to end than with those kind of words?
Thank you all so much for coming.
Yay!
And we hope to see see you again next year. Thank you all for participating.